This is Jeremy. I've just come back from Famous Collectibles down in Bexhill-on-Sea, which was quite a thing. Well, they've got Famous Collectibles there, and well, I've got one or two of the Famous Collectibles myself, or maybe three. Well, let me tell you a little brief summary of myself. I started acting when I was 12 years old, and I went into theatre when I was about 16, 17. I did Summer Holiday with Cliff Richard, which was huge fun, and I remembered all the singing lines. Um, Mary Queen of Scots, Robin of Sherwood, Agony, lots of different things. But then suddenly, one of the smallest parts I've ever played um, came through Boba Fett, the bounty hunter, who's behind me. Well, behind me there. I had a most wonderful time doing that, although it was such a tiny part. But it's nice to be known that you were Boba Fett. It's I suppose I got into acting because I wasn't very good at anything else. I mean, a lot of the sums and English and all sorts of things I couldn't spell. I wasn't very good, so I was very lucky to get this part, which taught me how to stand still and look moody. Um, I was very lucky once again. My half brother, he was involved with the films, the Star Wars films, and he's asked me to get my agent onto a small part. Would you like 2 or 3 days? So I said, well, I'm in the theatre. Yes, well, I'll go up for it. Well, then suddenly I went up for it. I fitted the costume, and here we are. Look at all this. It's all Boba Fett. Um, Actually, it's wonderful because a lot of people say, how did you get the role, which I've just said, but also to meet Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill was fantastic. Again, they were very polite and they said, wow, what an extraordinary outfit you've got on. Well, look, jetpacks, what's all this? That was all very new in Empire Strikes Back. Um, but it's funny, but I don't really know much about the new film yet, Episode 7, but I'm very excited and I think that's going to be fantastic. People keep saying, are you going to get out of the Sarlacc pit and come and help everybody? I said, well, no, he's a bad guy. He's not going to help everyone. So that's quite nice. There is a secret hanging around. And people say, do you know, is there a secret? I said, no, I don't know anything. I'm finished. Boba Fett's gone into the Sarlacc pit. It's all over. Working now, it's quite nice because I see a lot of the grandchildren. I'm doing a cartoon voice, which is quite funny, playing an owl, and then going on to do another voice. So you have to make sure they're completely different. So I'm doing a bit of voice stuff to each little cartoon film. So that's going to be exciting. A lot of the time here, a lot of people ask me, what do you do with your spare time? Well, with my spare time, I try and see all my grandchildren. There are 10, which is incredible. There's 8 girls, 2 boys. So it's wonderful to be with them. And so while they're doing their different roles, you know, they're sort of acting out different roles as well. And they just say, oh, Dad, Granddad, can you help us with this? Well, they're better actors than I am. So I just say, well, I can't play a sort of funny person jumping up and down. Now, what advice, someone told me this the other day, what advice would I give to someone about going into an acting career? Well, my first thought would be don't, because it is an extremely difficult profession to be in. But if it really nabs you and it gets you and you desperately want to do it, no one should ever stop you. You have to work hard, you have to wait tables, you have to paint, you have to do anything that keeps you going. So my advice is think about it first, and then maybe things will get better for you. Now, the most interesting place I've visited. Someone told me that. They said, if they think that you just fly around the globe, do a couple of scenes and say, I'm Boba Fett, thank you very much. The most interesting place, I think, is the Maldives, which is beautiful. I was lucky enough to go there a year ago. So the Maldives, think about that. Not a bad place to go to. People say, is it true you have a lot of collectibles? Well, as I said earlier on, behind me there are a lot of famous collectibles. Sorry, I mustn't use that pun too often. But the collectibles. Do I have? Oh, I can just say to you, yes. I have quite a few collectibles, only of Boba Fett, from tiny little figure to the big guy behind me. I haven't got lots. It's just odd paintings. No, they're not odd. They're absolutely brilliant. And they've been given to me by famous artists. So I have them sort of pinned around, and hopefully we don't get a storm and they all start falling down. But I've got some nice stuff, and it's nice to be surrounded by my fellow self. Now, the other thing is the book. It's called Flying Solo, a book that I did, well, at least 5 years ago now, and it's nearly at the end of its peak because I only did a certain amount, 2,000 copies worldwide, and soon, once that 2,000 copies have been sold, that will be the end of Flying Solo. But it's been an interesting book, and I'm glad people bought it. Most people think it was fun, and it's supposed to be fun. So if you ever see it, well, Boba Fett wrote the book. Isn't it funny that voice suddenly comes out of the blue? Right, now, when did I first realize Boba Fett was going to be so popular, or became popular? I think it was when they re-released the films in 1996, 97. They re-released them on the big screen, and it was then that there was a different reaction from when the film was originally shown. There was a slightly different, more tense, sharp, and something's going to happen. And that's when I think Boba Fett suddenly became popular with all the fans. Now, probably the last question. It's a shame because it'd be nice to be here for 4 days. But what was it like working with Peter Sellers? Well, I had a great time with Peter Sellers, and it was a very small cast in this film. He was quite manic in a lot of ways, but delightful to me. He would say, "Come on, we'll do some funny voices." Ding, 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 beep, 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 beep. And we just had lots of fun, and not very serious at all. We just, well, I was very lucky to work with him in a film called Hoffman. I don't know if any of you've seen it, but it was many years ago that we shot the film, and I miss him actually because he made me laugh a lot. And I used to get into trouble with the director saying, "Come on, pay attention, Jeremy." Try to keep a straight face, which was very difficult. Anyway, nice to talk to you all. And as I said once again, this is Famous Collectibles down in Bexhill-on-Sea. Not here, but if you're ever down to the south or near Kent or wherever you're going, have a look. Have a look up in a book and see Famous Collectibles. Now, I wonder where that is. Have a look. They've got some fantastic stuff in their shop, and I was invited down there, but I didn't buy anything yet because I'm still trying to find this brilliant little piece I saw in the shop. So I will be making my way down there at some time. But anyway, thank you for listening. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you very soon.